Whatever reason, whatever you do, ask your questions in a certain order. Was it like that?
No, it's
or was it like that? Like a book?
like a book.
Got a logo in the corner.
Right. So I'm going to start here then. Fantastic. This is Angela from Wiley's. Little way of an introduction. Thank you so much for your contributions. Confident and free-flowing at all times. So the course, the quality of the course is always sort of directly proportional to how readily people volunteer information. That makes it much richer, much better. So thank you for that. So there's a lot of contributions. So tell us about Wiley's and what you were thinking when you came here. And were you sent or did you volunteer?
No, how I came to be here was Wiley's is already established. They've had a presence on the web for 10 years,
yeah.
but it's static and probably hasn't changed since its first inception.
Okay.
It's just completely static, very, very old, and it's quite almost has a negative impact rather than a positive impact at the moment. So it was already established that we needed a new website.
So a website can get so bad that it does more damage than good.
Yeah, so I
it was near that bad, was it?
Yeah, I felt personally that
right.
I wouldn't want any designers to actually go on the website because we deal with style and fashion, and that's our target market.
Right, and
if
it was
they,
not those two things
no,
at all,
if
right?
they actually sort of saw it, I felt that would actually steer them away from us rather than.
Right.
So it was an emergency. I felt we really, really needed it, and so when I started with the company 18 months ago, I initiated having the new website done. You can just see that.
An emergency webectomy. I like the sound of that.
And but Wiley's is a company, I should explain, we're a contract soft furnishings manufacturer, and our core business is the hotel industry. And the website really, like I said, was a bit. It's a bit of old-fashioned, so I was in the process of having this new website done, and when it got to the copy, the web company sort of quite nicely said, should we get a web copywriter to have a look over what you've done?
Right.
And it was £150 or something, and then I thought, well, maybe I need to learn a bit more.
Yeah.
So the value of coming here as opposed to just paying for a one-off, I decided to come and learn myself because I'm ultimately going to be responsible for updating the website, and I want to do my job properly. I want to get it right. So my main sort of goals were to understand the effect of the content which I'm going to have control over. Understand more of the terms the web agency are using so I can communicate with them better.
Yeah, not be bamboozled.
Exactly.
Or bamboozle them, which would be even cooler, wouldn't it?
That would be really good, but I don't know if I'm quite there yet.
Go back and tell them that you want some semantic tagging.
I wonder if that would work. I also just wanted to understand what Google looks for and how it works, ensure high Google visibility, and ensure sort of functionality and usability, and create a balance between the two.
Okay.
So you were saying about my contribution to the group. I also, while I've been here, I've really appreciated everyone else's comments.
Cool.
It's been really useful about getting different perspectives, and I know you can't please everyone, but it's always good to have other opinions.
Excellent. So, how close have you come to achieving those objectives then?
Quite close. I've got a plan in place that I need to present to my boss because I'm not in direct control of everything.
Right.
So I will now go. I've got a plan in place.
Tricky influence in one. Then.
Yeah. So I will now go and present this to my boss and hopefully, make some of the simple changes. It also gave me confidence in the website that I'm using in terms of the layout, which we'll talk about a bit later. Yeah, because a lot of the things we discovered, I felt were already there. There's still room for improvement, and we're definitely going to make some changes. And I guess we'll continue to make improvements.
Okay. So tell us about some of the stuff that you might sort of spring on your, not on your boss, but the people back at work. What have you done in this development and on this course where you could go back and go, yeah, they'll understand that?
Well,
we were talking about a few of these bits earlier on, weren't we?
Yeah. Firstly, it was going through the history of the web, just understanding, as well as understanding your product. It's wise to understand the market that you're marketing in.
Yeah.
So that background about the history of the web and where it's going.
Yeah.
And just really understanding, you know, that environment.
Yeah.
So now I can sort of contextualise it and put Wiley's in that
Brilliant.
in the web.
Because the web's not this separate entity; it's just all of us just using it, isn't it? And your customers changing the way that they want to look at stuff and use the web and all that kind of stuff. It's not a separate thing. It's we are the web, aren't we?
Yeah, exactly. And it's about that user-generated content, and that's the first thing that I will explain, you know, about the history and about Web 1, where we were, Web 2, and then where we're going, Web 3.
Yeah.
So some of the things I'll be talking about to my boss will be about, you know, how we need to, you know, create more of a value in our end users contributing to our website.
Yeah, big one, yeah.
And looking at, I've asked the web designers to add a blogging feature onto our new site we didn't have before, and to start that off.
Okay, so who's going to blog?
It will be like
Designers,
a designer forum with advice and technical advice from us, and then links to bodies, associations.
But who is the character behind the blog, or the individual then? Is it just a business blog? Blogs always work best when they're a personal voice. You know, when as a business we used to say Wiley's represent blah blah blah, and then it was we think this. A blog is good if it's I think this. It's by
really
the managing
personal.
director or the chief designer or someone, you know.
It's really personal, so that it creates that trust aspect.
Brilliant.
There's a real person behind that. It's not just Wiley's, this big cloud of people that could be anyone.
Yeah.
You know, it would be, you know, there might be a couple of people that regularly contribute, but perhaps even get, you know, as long as they're identifiable, I think that's the main.
Right. Okay. So the character members. You like the idea of this idea of sort of monetising the web, of understanding the numbers and being able, and that being something that you could communicate, and therefore get them to understand the value and put some resources behind it. What did you sort of discover in that sort of process?
What I did here was, firstly, I'd asked for the old website that's obviously still running. I got them to put the code for Google Analytics on there. Cool. And to actually, we all accepted that, you know, the website didn't look very good, but this actually put some figures against it and could prove that there was a high bounce rate. People were coming to it, but they were running away quite fast.
And they're not stopping very long.
So my initial fears that it was having a negative impact were, you know, sort of compounded by that.
So
actual
you could
proof.
go, look, it's crap. The numbers prove it's crap.
Yeah,
so it's
and
not just
it's not just a theory. It's not just my opinion.
Fantastic.
And then from that, I started looking at keywords and analysing the keywords. And using the free Google tool AdWords, which was brilliant.
So it's like traffic level estimation, all that.
That was just, you know, a pivotal moment for me, because I realised that I've listed them here on the old site, and then the proposed ones which I'd come up with myself, which I kind of thought, and then after using Google AdWords, I've got a new list, new complete list, and it just made me realise that I was sort of the queen of a deserted island, and you know. Yeah,
I've heard some people say king of a very small kingdom. You know.
Yeah, there was no one actually searching, or not enough people actually searching for some of the terms. So there was.
So that was the kind of first eye opener that perhaps the traffic tools can kind of give you.
Yeah, so there was just no one looking for that. So it was understanding our market, you know, more, and getting in the eye of the designer or whoever would be looking. And so we've gone really long tail, really niche in some of the keywords. So instead of having flame retardant fabrics, we've gone for the brand name Trevera Fabrics, which all the designers are familiar with. So really narrowing it down to what we think people look for.
And the tools seem to suggest that would be a better strategy.
It does indeed.